Hey, this is Ciderhelm, and welcome to Turning Point. In many games, the outcome is dependent on which team makes fewer critical mistakes, but it's rarer for a team with a very significant lead to completely throw the game on fundamental mistakes. Purple Team opened up an early lead against Blue Team. Lux and Ezreal have dominated bottom lane, and Riven has dominated mid lane. Only Kha'Zix held his own against Purple, repeatedly pushing Zed out of lane. There have been several team fights, and Purple Team consistently manages to pull ahead. Within 15 minutes, they've opened up a 5k gold lead, and they've maintained this lead the entire match. But Blue Team never totally throws the game, and they don't completely avoid engagements. After running across Zed in the jungle and bursting him down, Blue Team is forcing a fight at Baron Nashor. Zed getting caught out of position was the first big mistake. Purple is starting in a very defensible position. They would have no problem backing off now, but there's a risk that Blue Team would kill Baron. They could also likely prevent Baron simply by harassing over the wall, especially since Ezreal and Lux's ultimates are available. Instead, Lux, Riven, and Nocturne move into the river. After being aggressive all game, they are going to assert themselves and get ready to pick off the lower health blue players. This is the second core mistake. This is still 4 on 5. As soon as they realize Blue Team is willing to engage them instead of retreat, the entire rest of this fight will become a matter of Purple Team falling back to their base. As they fall back, Ezreal uses his ultimate, True Shot Barrage, but only manages to clip Kha'Zix. He fired a shot that would, at most, only hit 2 players, and due to the cast animation, he delayed his retreat. He certainly could have waited until later and been more likely to hit more opponents from a safer position. This is our third core mistake. Shortly after this, Lux will miss her binding. As the fight continues, we see an absolutely beautiful initiation. Note that Katarina and Taric have simultaneously flashed. Taric is landing his stun on Riven, and Katarina is now in range to jump to her and begin casting her ultimate, Death Lotus. Now for the fourth mistake. Let's look at the team compositions. Riven is the only player on Purple Team that can immediately interrupt Katarina's Death Lotus ultimate. From a team comp perspective, having only one interrupt against both a Katarina and a Nunu is less than ideal, and Riven is currently stunned. Nocturne doesn't bring much of anything to the fight at this point. He is not designed to excel at retreating, but rather to engage all in, and this is well past the point where that would be possible. Ezreal is extremely mobile thanks to his blink. Both he and Lux still offer some long-range harassment, and they're going to be able to get more distance than either Riven or Nocturne could. But Ezreal's ability to distance himself from his opponents is also countered in this matchup. Katarina and Kha'Zix both reset their gap closers on kills and assists, and they're guaranteed to pick 2 up right here. They'll have no problem catching up to Ezreal. Katarina and Kha'Zix knock Purple Team out like dominoes, and the fight ends in an ideal location where they can push the lane, taking out 2 towers and an inhibitor. Despite all of this, Blue Team is still slightly behind the Purple Team. But Purple Team yet again makes a mistake of getting caught out of position at Baron, this time allowing the Blue Team to pick up the Baron buff on top of several kills. With this, they knock out the other team and completely cripple their opponents. Throughout this game, Purple Team maintained a huge lead. When I was watching this, I felt Blue Team might pull it off just due to the team comp, but I really didn't expect much and was ready to write it off before that first Baron fight. Blue Team was willing to take risks even after they'd lost several team fights. If they hadn't been, Purple Team would have securely won the game, especially given their long-range pressure with Lux and a fed Ezreal. Purple Team really only made one amazingly huge mistake during the game, and that was getting aggressive as the Baron's fight started. They did have to challenge Baron, but they didn't have to put themselves into a position where they immediately needed to try a full retreat. It was a brief moment of overconfidence. Blue Team wins this match. They played well and they played to win. Purple Team needed to make a mistake, and they did, but Blue Team also needed to be smart enough to capitalize on it. Thanks for watching this episode. Let me know in the comments how you would have played this differently.